Hi folks, welcome back. Today is all about timing. I have got all the tools I need now to swap the injection pump over in Bruce Almighty, the 6x6. If you remember, over winter the existing pump got knackered, it got full of water. This is the injection pump here, and I will show you the tools I've got and I'll explain a little bit more about them in a minute. So this is all you need really to change the timing belt on a 200 or 300 TDI engine. This pin here locks the cog for the fuel injection pump in place, and this one locks the flywheel in place, so that way when you take everything apart you're maintaining the engine timing. Now, because I'm just removing the fuel pump today, I really don't want to disturb the timing belt, because if I were to do that I would have to take the whole timing case off, the front pulleys, a lot of extra bits and pieces, take the timing belt off and then lock everything in place. But this extra set I've got here now, and particularly this tool, this should allow me to go in via an access panel on the front of the timing case, which is just here. And lock the timing gear in place. Then I can withdraw the pump from the back of that case, and the timing belt and everything will remain in situ. That's the theory. So I've got a chance to practice it, because the pump I'm taking off is on a 300 TDI engine, which I've got in here, and I'll show you that now and explain a little bit about, in my amateurish way, how diesel timing works. Every time our crankshaft goes round, our flywheel goes round one revolution, and the piston comes up. Now we want to stop the piston at top dead centre, but on a 4-stroke engine the piston does 2 top dead centres during a 4-stroke cycle. The first one is when it comes up and it's compressing the fuel and air mixture, and then the second one is when the exhaust valves open and pushing the exhaust gases out. So we want to make sure that the piston is at top dead centre on the compression stroke when it's compressing the gases. So in order to do that, we rotate the crankshaft until this little notch in the flywheel here lines up with a little hole in the bottom, and I put a pin in through this drain plug to secure that in place. Now, that could be either on the compression stroke or the exhaust stroke, but if I do it properly, and I've removed this cover here, if it's on the compression stroke I'll actually be able to insert the other pin in the kit into a slot in the gear. If it's on the exhaust stroke, that slot won't be there. That's how I understand it, okay? The other thing I need to do is I need to make sure, when this is all set up, so top dead centre on compression, front and rear, that I then lock the pump off, so that when I remove the pump it still maintains its setting, and then I should be able to just put it on the other engine, which will also be set up on top dead centre, and it should just work. It should. And there is a locking tab on the back of this, so you can actually lock this and then remove it and put it back in and then unlock it again. It sounds complicated. It is going to be a lot simpler using those tools, because if I wasn't using those tools, then all of this timing case, the big damper and pulley at the bottom would have to come off, and you know, the timing belt, etc. So let's see how we get on, because it could be easier just to put a 300 TDI in this. No, I'm joking. I'm not doing that. Or what about a V8? Maybe later. I don't know anything about the history of this engine. Now that's locked. That will not move. So if we go around the back of the engine, there's our slot almost lining up with my pins, so I just need to move the engine back slightly and we'll get that in. Okay, so the next job, and I'm going to have to consult the manual for this, is how to lock this pump off at TDC, and then we can just remove the injector pipes, fuel pipes, any bracketry, and pull this out. I'm beginning to think that I am jinxed with this car. So, in order to lock the fuel injection pump so that I can remove it and it won't rotate, I have to withdraw slightly a bolt, take off a really thick sort of Y-shaped washer, and then screw the bolt back in again. And the bolt goes in further when I screw it back in, and that locks the shaft, okay? And I can show you it on Bruce's engine, hopefully. Bit of upside down camera work. So there's the bolt, and there's the thick plate. So unscrew that a little bit, the plate drops out, screw the bolt back in. And because I've already will have preset the timing and locked the timing on the engine, that will just work. Now, here's the problem here. And the Haynes manual is wrong, because the Haynes manual for a 300 TDI engine shows the same style of bolt. However, that is my bolt there, and it's entirely different. It's only got a brass crush washer on it, and it has got nothing like the required length on it when I remove the washer to go right up and lock that shaft. So I did a bit of googling. There is a tool available, or a bolt available, for 300 TDI. So this is a Bosch VE pump. So if I had to buy an additional tool, that's a really long bolt that will go in there and lock that shaft. What do we do now then? Well, I can't take this pump off because I can't time it, but what I can do is disconnect everything from it. I can then go over to the other Land Rover, because I've got two sets of these timing pins, and I can get that one set up, get it timed, get the pump timed, and then haul that pump out. And then wait on the new tool arriving, or the new bolt arriving, so we can take this pump off. Right, I'll see you back at Bruce Almighty. I quickly removed the fan and the fan cowl, allowing me access, because it's been a 200 TDI. It's got a larger bolt on the end of the crankshaft than the 300. Oh, the cheater bar's a bit excessive, but that lets me get the ratchet on this. Makes life easier for cranking it. This one has actually still got the wading plug. Thought it might be a 14. Am I going to have to go and get a 13? No. Probably be a heap of... Oh no, it's dry. Looks good. Right. For everything as well, I'll look up inside here with the torch. It's full of crud. Probably not a good idea spraying WD-40 up into your clutch, actually. So we'll just pull the crud out of here with the handy piece of stick that was lying on the ground. Land Rover say you should leave the wading plugs out unless you're wading, and that lets any fluids drain out. But only a Land Rover would have a design where it's designed to leak. I don't know if you saw that, but it's almost there. It just needs a little tweak, and then I can get the pin in. Okay, Mo. Oh, I've just put my head in a bucket of diesel. Okay. Oh, that's going to be fun in the shower tonight. Once you compose yourself, yeah, gently turn that. Yeah, that's good. Another one of those. Oh, too far. Yeah, well there's not much left in the tray now, so I think most of it must be soaked into my head. Right, it really is just a millimetre.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not moving. Oh, it's moving gently now. Oh, try it there. Hold it there. That's great, that's gone right in. Thank you.
Let go.
Let go. Now it's a case of just slackening this off. And I was about to say not dropping the spacer plate, but I just heard it hit the ground. So we'll find that first. And yes, it did land in my diesel tray, but that's it there. So with that removed and carefully stowed, this should go in and lock the pump. And we're just going to have to trust that that's the case. I'm going to remove, remembering that every one of these banjo bolts has got 2 washers on it. Trying not to lose them. So that's the one from the turbo to the diaphragm that increases the fueling as the boost goes up. Fuel return down here, and I'll get a socket on the fuel inlet. I've already taken the injector pipes off last week. There's a bracket to come off there, and then hopefully we can just unbolt it. Oh, and a throttle cable. Tuck that out the way, and also that, and also that. If you ever have to replace these bleed off pipes on these engines, it tends to come as a whole kit with this pipe and that union and that pipe. Right, as far as I can see now, there's a bolt and a bolt there. It's gone from super tight to finger tight with one crack. So, from what I can see, I've got these nuts here, here, and I'm guessing underneath. I think there's 3 holding it in. Not tight. Is the yellow paint supposed to convince me that these are factory? Could be. Take the tension off of these, and then we'll have to go around the front of the pump again and use the new special tool to hold the pulley. That's it, that's 3 of them. To hold the timing gear in place. Okay, we're back round the front of the engine now, so the next job to remove these 3 bolts which hold the sprocket to the pump, and might have to put a socket on that nut to stop everything spinning. Then we withdraw the timing pin and we place our new tool into that hole, which is here. And there should be lots of spinny stuff to hold it all together. Then we can take the pump off. Yeah, sounds like it's got a 10% chance of working, but we'll give it a go. One. Two. And three. Now there's a plate that's also coming loose here. That's not threaded, so that locates over the timing pin, like so. And these go into the holes that have just been vacated by the bolts. What do you reckon? Is it going to work? A couple of things I've done off camera. I've put old bits of rubber glove over the injectors to keep any dirt out of them. I had to remove one of the oil pipes because this engine's got an oil cooler, so that when the injection pump comes back it won't bind, so I've put a bit of clean rag in there. I've got two of the bolts undone, and the last one is literally finger tight. The bottom nut was just on a little thread there. So that's one fuel pump locked in place. This was the bit that was giving me all the trouble from the beginning. Well, I'm going to have to call it a day for that really, because I'm waiting on this tool so I can take the other one out. Right, see you next time. We'll swap it over and get it put back together. Thanks for watching.